Hello, this is Cara from Camena Tarot with the second unboxing of today, the day after my birthday, and something special arrived. This was a Kickstarter from Laetitia Barbier. It is, I believe, the first deck she's created, although she did write a marvelous book about the history of tarot. And this is the Camena Tarot. Laetitia Barbier wrote this, and the illustrations are by Lou Benesh. It's a wine red day. Oh, and this just feels luscious. It feels like leather. Oh, maybe that might be a misprint on mine. Maybe not. It doesn't bother me in either case. No, probably not if it's bicolored there, so. So that's just a poster card, an additional art print. And it's temperance, yay. I think that's temperance. We'll find out. So this is a rarity for me. For one thing, I'm a humongous fan of Laetitia's work. So it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that I would get this, even though I usually avoid 22 card decks, just majors only decks. They're not my bag. I remain unconvinced of how useful, utilitarian they are, and I am a Virgo, so that matters to me. However, I'm a humongous fan of Laetitia, and I really loved the artwork in this deck. So I did it. Oh yeah, that's definitely intentional. It's a marbleized effect. So I'll go through the cards first. Gilded, of course. Rose petal finish. Oh, just luscious, luscious rose petal. Probably won't spread well because of that. But, well, let's see right now. Yeah, they don't spread as well because they're rose petal. But that's, I don't usually pick that way anyway, so I think this is low enough to be able to get a good idea of these, and so I'll just go through them. A tiny number down here. Oh, fascinating. additional cards. This is the flood, inevitability, sacred destruction, erosion and emergence, metamorphosis, inescapable motion, impermanence, ritual undoing, the devouring goddess, cycles of consumption. This is the bewitching water, resonance, illusion, hypnotic pull, surrender, the dissolution of boundaries, the unseen made audible, the echo without origin, mirrors that do not reflect truth, ripples that rewrite reality, fluid identity, escapism, and the uncanny. The healing water, carrier of medicine, restoration, slow transmutation, mineral wisdom, sacred infusion, patient healing, deep replenishment, resilience, the medicine beneath the surface, the balance of poison and remedy, the slow work of repair, the underground current, and time passing. And this is the wellspring of creation. Generativity, nourishment, unrestrained giving, fecundity, water as midwife, the ripening and swelling of life, the rain that awakens, bounty without ownership, life coaxed into being, the bloom that follows the flood. So 4 additional cards. And so then this, now I know how that, now we know this is the flood card, the first of the 4 additional cards. And I am going to shuffle them and do an Arcana battle with these, since the Arcana battle idea was created to be 4 majors only. This is the perfect deck to use the Arcana battle for. Even just flipping through these, I love the colors in this deck. And here we go with the Arcana battle. For those of you who've missed the descriptions before, I did not create this idea. This is perfect to do with a new deck because you are not as familiar with it. The point is to not think about what the card means, or don't think about that it's the Hermit or Temperance. You are choosing what you like, and so you put down 2. The one that you like remains. The one you like least gets replaced with the next card. And the point is to do it very, very quickly. So you're just having a knee-jerk reaction to the image. And here we go. One of my all-time favorite death cards, I have to say. So I may be hard-pressed to find something that supersedes it, but there it is, the Magician. peacefulness of this Justice card. Ah, I adore this Hermit card, and we're at the last two. Okay, so this would be my first reading with this deck, and here we have the Hermit, which this may be one of my favorite Hermit cards too. There are 2 pages, and I'm just going to read the interpretation. As we cross paths, and it has it's kind of a description of the story of this card, some terms associated with that story that include keywords, and then a paragraph of interpretation. As we cross paths with the Hermit, we are invited to coil back into our shell and examine what's hiding within. Arcana of introspection and spiritual contemplation, the Hermit conjures limitations and inner quests, chosen isolation and separation from the chaos of human life. It is also time to rekindle that sacred fire which once animated us. To start the journey, you need to fire up the lantern. Look within for the sparks that brighten the soul. It is, in its negative interpretation, the card warns against the lack of social integration and the contempt we might have for others. Don't judge people for not having the same reclusive needs as yours. Everyone finds their own departure at the right time. And the Hanged Man, who it's hard to miss that he looks as if he's been beaten up, and the hands flowing blood as if the wrists have been cut. Also looks bloody here. And a nail. So definitely there are crucifixion elements of this image here too. So this is not the placid hanging upside down of some decks. And the title on this card says, "One eye open to the void, one closed to the world." And the French term for this card is le pendu. Interpretation. Le pendu embodies latency, a purgatorial state where transformation is quietly brewing, but no immediate action is required. This pause offers a rare gift, space for reflection, and the door to profound reconfigurations. In its negative aspect, it signifies the difficulty of enduring sacrifice, frustration with stagnation, or resisting spiritual growth. It may also point to an unwillingness to cut ties, make decisions, or resolve uncertainty, often to avoid confronting conflict. By the way, if you're hearing some soft snoring in the background, I don't know if it's being picked up or not. That's my dog, and she's a large dog, so she snores like a person. So we have the Hermit and the Hanged Man, and we have kind of the water flowing here and back up there, but here it's white, and here it's blue. Here, purity and coolness, and the blues are picked up. And then this bird with a person's head flying by. The butterflies of thought here with the moon partially obscured. The, the moon pockets on the vestment. And even the tree has been cut and appears to be bleeding at each cut of its limb. But this branch is blooming, the branch from which they're hanging. The hermit, of course, is looking away, perhaps not so much to the past, but as to the interior, kind of out here, while the owl looks directly at us in almost a challenging way. The hanged man looks directly at us with the one eye that is open. And interesting, if we take this path of the water is going uphill. So we are going up to the heights in the process of having taken our internal vision and trying to transform it into a new way of looking at things. A lot to unpack in these beautiful cards. So the thing about the Arcana battle is that it doesn't necessarily pick your favorites. It picks the one you initially like best compared to the one that's next to it, and neither one of them might be your favorite in the deck. That's a favorite card of mine anyway, and so it remains one that's important to me. But let's look at some of these other ones, and I'll just point out some of my favorites as we go through. This is one of the new cards, so I don't have an attachment to that yet. Sun, Moon, the Lovers. Oh, I just noticed that is one person who's half and half, so that's definitely a unified lover fighting against a unified demon. And also snakes with two heads. Everything here is paired. Perhaps one of my favorite fools, just complete delight with the, may the bluebird of happiness build a nest in your hair. I kept this for a long time. You're not supposed to think about the meaning, but I had recognized this on the way through the first time that I adore this card, and I had not seen it before. I love that the key to wisdom is coming out a ribbon out of the Hierophant's mouth. I just love that. Words of wisdom. The flood. Emperor is my birth card, and I really like this Emperor who looks like foxes for gloves. It's a quite fancy Emperor. But golly, isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous and macabre. They appear to have this one has just had its head cut off, and this one appears to be an older decapitation with time still running. Oh. Sorry if there was a little glitch there. I had to stop for a moment and help downstairs. I love the purples in this. I do think this is one of my favorite magicians. A friend told me today that she used to say to her daughter, you have all of the tools in your bag, but you have to take them out every once in a while. And but you have to take them out to be able to use them. And I said, I'm stealing that phrase because I think it's the perfect phrase to think about with the magician. The Strength card looking a lot like a Chinese lion, and incorporating the pillar that's often seen on the older decks and on the Minchiati decks. the chariot. This is fascinating because it has no wheels, and they are embedded in the chariot just as he is embedded in the chariot. Some people joke about the chariot driver being embedded in there in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But now all three of them are embedded, which would make it much more a chariot of the mind and of the vision. The World. No, Judgment, I'm sorry. The Judgment card. Oh, I love that as a Judgment card. Love this, with them bursting forth from the bulbs that have planted roots. And you also know from the Arcana battle, I really liked this Justice card. I really like how calm she appears to be, but also discerning, which is definitely what you would want. And the Devil card, which has this wonderful, of course, with Laetitia's knowledge of historical decks, she's incorporated, and she and the artist working together have incorporated all of these wonderful symbols that look like flowers that almost look like a tower there. And the people in sheep's clothing. The fecundity of this Empress, harkening back to I don't know the name of the ancient goddess with all the breasts, but I look at this and I just think, oh, that must be uncomfortable. And where do you find a bra? And the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, with different phases of the lifespan of a dandelion. How wonderful. And this is the Star card. She is made up of the sky. And there's a name for this Venus-typed character, that lactating. So that is the water of the earth. So rich, so rich. And here, the Temperance. I'll have to look and see the description. That appears to be a hawk. I'm not sure. The lion and a hawk, perhaps? And she's flowing into the water just as the water is flowing down the mountains. The High Priestess with these eyes, these perpetual eyes. And she also has the white and black column. But here we have the antler and an egg inside of the moon. Rich, rich symbolism. And last but not least, the Tower. And again, a wonderful elision of the devil and the Tower, with this part of the Tower that is this part of the devil. And trees growing out of the Tower. And definitely the blast coming more from inside. There is a blast outside, but the blast is definitely, it's inside the house. Which is very, they're inside the house. So the Camena Tarot, a Major's only set. Oh, I just want to stroke this. It feels like leather. First edition, written by Laetitia Barbier and illustrated by Lou Benesh, by Scarlet Hound. I bet they'll have in here the name of the book. She has collaborated on other decks. And her book is called Tarot and Divination Cards, A Visual Archive, that was published in 2021 with a foreword by Rachel Pollack. And it's just a magnificent, it's a coffee table book, it's a resource, it's a magnificent book. And there you have it. Thank you for letting me share this with you.